I have touched in some way every room in the house at this point. Most rooms have been updated since I took over. I call our hosting style elegantly charming. The idea behind that is that charming is the most important part, and to me charming means comfortable. So every room is very comfortable. There's lots of places to sit, relax, put your feet up. There's spots for drinks and books and your things, stuff like that. But at the same time, it's also supposed to be elegant. The vision I had for this house when I took over was to kind of create this home that looks like we've been here for generations, because we have. We incorporate antiques into every room. We use a lot of just different materials. They are more in line with what was used in homes 100 years ago or so. Like, I avoid plastic in rooms if I can, partly because it kind of gives like a motel vibe, partly because it didn't exist until like the 1940s, basically. A lot of thought goes into the materials, and a lot of thought goes into like, all right, well, how did people decorate or design a room back then? And that's kind of how I incorporate the elegant part of it. It's always more important to me that a room be comfortable, cozy, to feed into that home away from home vibe that people are looking for. The house has been in my family for a couple generations now. It started in 1985. It was actually, frankly, just a way to keep the house in the family. My father, who was working as a banker in New York City at the time, gave that career up and decided to focus on this instead. He and my mother were able to raise 4 kids and do this at the same time. So they ran it until, I want to say 2018. I was living in Charleston, South Carolina at the time. I came back to visit, and I remember they sat me down at a table in the dining room and they said, we're very tired and we don't want to do this anymore. So they basically were like, either you come and take this over or we're selling. So this house has been in my family for generations, so I just was not willing to let that up. So I picked up and moved back to Greenwich. I spent a lot of time thinking about like what our core values are as a business, what we're trying to achieve here, and also kind of better understanding what guests appreciate about us as a business. Guests appreciate that it's a home away from home. We literally have guests who, they stay with us because their parents stayed here, or they've been staying here for decades. They got married here and now they come back for anniversaries and things like that. So we definitely have like an elegantly charming atmosphere, ambiance, that you don't get at some typical hotel. But you also get a lot of privacy here that you don't get at like a vacation rental, for example. There are definitely different places of the house for people to gravitate to. Usually when guests walk in, my hope is that they first pause in our vestibule. That's kind of like traditionally a welcoming area. The living room is more of a morning place, I would say. It's also obviously the thoroughfare into the dining room, the main thoroughfare into the dining room, as well as to the south side of the house, the pool, the patio, that kind of thing. And then the dining room in the back of the house, that is overlooking the pool, the gardens on that side of the house. It's really pretty. The library itself is best experienced in the winter or just colder times of the year. It has a fireplace, it's super cozy. The walls are this just deep red, which is not something you typically put up on walls, but like my mom did it and the paint's held up really well, and I still think it's great. There's books over in the corner, there's chess games, there's board games. The most recent place we added is the lounge. It was originally the office for the inn until literally a few months ago. My inspiration was kind of a lounge from the 1890s, kind of like, you know, imagine Sherlock Holmes or something like that. It is very relaxing. You do have a bar in there. It has more of a cozy vibe. I designed it more for evenings. I love the inn, I love the history, I love the ties to the family, things like that. But the big appeal to me is the property itself. It is just such a calm, relaxing, quiet, and very green place to be. If you walk through the living room, past the dining room on that side of the house, you're gonna pass through a little corridor. In there we have, you know, our snack bar, but then you head out to the patio and the pool on that side of the house. The pool, especially this time of year, for obvious reasons, is our most popular spot. It is very quiet, and typically you've got that place to yourself. My personal favorite spot is definitely the back garden. And it's one of those spots that people don't often find right away. You loop around the south side of the house, through the patio to the back. You follow a trail and it brings you to the ruins, and that's all we call it. We have been slowly working on refurbishing it, leaving it as an open space. It's very cozy, it's very intimate. Guests have told us they feel like they're in the Mediterranean or something like that because there are these big, beautiful vines draping over the sides of the walls. And that's kind of like the most central part of the garden. There's also like swooping lawns all around it. Guests tell us we're a hidden gem. The back garden is the real hidden gem in my opinion. It's also a fantastic place to host events. It really is a very intimate space. I just freaking love this property. It is one of the larger pieces left in Greenwich that hasn't been developed or anything like that. So it's very calming, it's very green, it's such a relaxing, tranquil place. We're not actually in downtown Greenwich, we're a very short walk from it, but that separation just helps so much. You see someone walk in the door and from the front door to the front desk, you see them kind of just relax and let go of whatever it was that they brought with them. The house really has its own charm, its own tranquility. It's just very peaceful. That's very important to me. Our purpose as a business is connection. I think guests really appreciate that. They can expect to feel more like it's a homestay than necessarily just like a standard hotel stay kind of thing. Guests who want to connect with locals and better understand the area than you would just staying anywhere else. My family's been here for generations. Most of the team has been in this area for years and years. And even if they haven't, they still love this area. So they just are a great introduction, especially if you don't know anyone in the area or anything like that. Our expectation and our hope is that you really do get to get away from everything, mentally as well as geographically speaking. And that's what we want you to feel when you stay here. My name is Colin Pearson. I'm an innkeeper at Stanton House Inn.